But Book of Boba Fett. I had a feeling this would happen, but in episode 3, the flashback was much shorter. And in episode 4, they straight up finished the flashbacks. The flashbacks are done. Boba was fully healed. Obviously, spoiler alert. But yeah, now we're going to be focusing more on the modern day timeline. And before I go on, have you seen the last 2 episodes?
Of course I've seen the last 2 episodes. You're like gonna ask me that I've seen the last. Of course, this isn't Young Justice.
That's got to be sure. I don't want to go spoiling stuff, and then you didn't see it. But yeah, flashback is over. He's got Black Chris Hansen. I call him Black Chris Hansen because that's what it sounds like. He's got him on his side now, and he's gonna get Mando, which I'm excited to see Mando come back. Din Djarin, he's great. One of my favorite bounty hunters, probably my second favorite after Cad Bane, because Cad Bane is definitely my favorite, and I hope he shows up. I want Cad Bane so bad in live action. I love Cad Bane. When he showed up in the Bad Batch, it was so good. The music was so good. That song that played when he showed up, I listened to routinely because it was so good. But yeah, how you feeling about this show overall?
I like the show overall. I feel like a lot of people hate on the show because they don't understand how proper storytelling and pacing works. And while I fully agree about the flashbacks needed to either be shorter or just be their own episodes, I feel like it worked to the absolute, like the degrees that it did. And it's funny because I'm seeing all these memes about like people being like, "Oh, Book of Boba Fett is so great in episode 4," and then people like start memeing and they're like, "Oh, it's almost like that's how proper story structure works." So I'm like, yeah, see, people are impatient. I am also impatient, but so, I'm really liking it.
If I'm being honest, I feel like they should have just done it in chronological order. I think that they should have, instead of going to flashbacks, which take up like majority of the episodes, the first 2 episodes should have just been the flashbacks and then moved on to the modern day, and it should have been like that. I agree that the pacing is off because the flashbacks are so awkwardly placed and they take up so much time that I feel like they should have just done it in chronological order. Let's start off from when he got a Sarlacc pit, show him with the Tuskens. He becomes an honorary Tusken. He takes down the Pike train. They die. He goes, avenges them. He gets his shit back. He saves Ming-Na Wen's character, and then we're back in the modern day. I think they should have done that. And I feel like that would have only taken up the first 2, maybe, and then maybe like half of the 3rd episode. And then I feel like then from then on out, it would have been modern day timeline. Either that or just pace out the flashbacks better. I feel like the pacing of the flashbacks was weird. But I'm liking the show overall. I'm enjoying it. Like I'm not disliking it. But I definitely see the complaints and understand them and agree with some of them. Anything else you got to say about Book of Boba Fett before we go into Peacemaker?
I have a little bit to say about Book of Boba Fett. So, firstly, the cybernetic people.
Yeah.
I do not get Star Wars vibes off of them. I'm not complaining about the cybernetic people, but they feel like Cyberpunk 2077 characters. Like when you walked into the place, I just got straight River Dog flashback.
When he walked in and I saw that person, I was like, is that Thundercat? And I was like, there's no way that's Thundercat. And then at the end of the credits, it said Thundercat. And I was like, what? I was like, there's no way Thundercat is just randomly in this movie. If you don't know who Thundercat is, he's a bassist and a musician whose music I love because I love the bass.
I was gonna say I did not know who that was.
Yeah, he's a musician whose music I love. He's there's a famous meme that uses one of his songs, a song called Funny Things. But I'll send you the song. You'll probably hear it and go, okay, he made that song. I know what that is. But yeah, when I saw him, I was like, why is he in this show? Is he like friends with like the composer Ludwig? Because I was like, why is he here? I wouldn't be surprised if he's in it because he's friends with the composer. But yeah, it felt really random. You're right. They do feel like something from Cyberpunk. I can't say that they don't necessarily feel like Star Wars. They don't feel like Tatooine. If they were on Coruscant, I think I wouldn't have batted an eye. I think if they were on Coruscant, I would have been like, that's just people on Coruscant. But on Tatooine, it looks out of place. But I don't think I don't feel like it looks out of place for Star Wars in general.
You might be right about that. I might need to see them on like a different planet, like not even just Tatooine. If I saw them on like Corellia, which is like notoriously, whereas like Tatooine, or not Tatooine, whereas like Coruscant is like the lower down you get, the grimier and dirtier you get. Corellia is like that just all throughout the planet. Like it doesn't matter where you are. It's always gonna be grimy, criminal, like everywhere. I feel like if I saw them on Corellia or something, I also feel like if they were less colorful, like the colors they chose were very bright, and like I was like,
Yeah, especially since there's like, I don't know. I just wonder how they keep it clean with all that sand. Because I feel like at the very least they should have been a little dirty. But also
that's what I thought immediately.
also,
where he was like, you're not going to cover her up, and he was like, and cover all this beautiful metal or cover all this beautiful machinery. I'm like, you're on a desert planet, so yes, that's like you don't want it to get like like sand in that. Like
it makes like I think with the bikes it makes sense because they want to. Of course, you want to keep your bike clean, but like you said, like why would you not want to cover it up and instead get sand inside of her body? Like what? But
like then all your work's just it's done for. Like that's no, you don't want to do that. Like I've done a bit of robotics in the past, and one of the first things you learn in robotics is don't keep stuff that can get inside the machinery near the machinery. You don't want water near your stuff, you don't want liquid near your stuff, and you certainly don't want sand near your stuff. Get that stuff away from it, cover it up. Like no.